Blessings and peace. I didn't bring no book, and I really do got a AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's a Eating Anonymous book I got. I thought it was. I didn't even know they had Eating Anonymous book, but I got that from the church. And so, you know, people get sick of hearing nonsense, but when nonsense is always happening to somebody, you know what I mean? I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to give it to the universe like I always do. Gotta let go and let God. And they still ain't let me back on TikTok. So when I went to get the paper, there was a resident here in my bags and pocketbook. There was really nothing in it. And I seen it go through my wallet. But you know, it's alright. I don't ever keep no money in anyways. But I had a receipt. Because I took money out. And she was like, it was like, yeah, you only got $40 in your bank account because I took, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why Miss John come down, because if she come down here and say hi, Millie, she thinks she checkmated, but you really didn't though. Because the simple fact to the point is, $40 is better than $0. And didn't have to go out here to spread my legs or be on my knees to make it. If I was living with Sisters of the Poor, I'll have my money too. Right? I pay bills. I gotta pay rent. I pay for the internet. So I got bills to pay, ma'am. Trying to get a phone, hopefully Monday. Cause I'm going to the 12-step women's group to release. And I'm gonna go to the library because I need to. Usually I do it with my phone, but I need a phone. I need a computer and my tablet, and I don't like going to Woonsocket Library. So yeah, I caught that. So she can't be trusted. You know, you know what I mean. That's because you ain't doing the actual act. You're still sinning. Cause why are you worrying about what I got? Cause what I got don't clothe you, don't feed you, don't pay none of your bills, right? That's why I was reading the thing. It was like she got 25 years, but still, you're still doing the devil's work, though. Just like that story I told, them pastors, them priests got years too. But one was getting a blowjob and one was hitting a woman from the back. So what that supposed to mean? You still doing the devil's bidding. And then you try to hide your hand. At least when I do the devil's bidding, I ain't even doing the devil's bidding. I'm just beating you to find the Lord. He said, bring them as they are. If you got to get beat half to death to go find Jesus, then I did my job. That's your way into heaven. Spreading the gospel of what the Lord believed in, not Jesus, the Lord. No matter how you spread it, it got to be good though. And love thy neighbor as Jesus loved you. I love all my neighbors as long as they don't bother me. Once they bother me, then it's on and popping. Because I can love you and don't even speak to you a day in my life. Till I move out. It will be like best friends. Like, okay. So tonight I came in. The thing was, I had this, the big board because I'm almost done with the dragon. So I brung the wolf. Because I'm almost done with this. I just want to stop the wolf. But I'll start it when I get home because I don't go to sleep. Like, I go to sleep like 8 o'clock on Sundays. See, I'm almost done. All I got to do is that little spot up there. Right? So, Lord, if anybody from Subway see this, the one downtown by the roller skating rink, the guy that worked tonight, they need to fire him. That boy is retarded. Them girls was like, oh my God, he's retarded. Because I was like, can I have the $6.99 special? I'm going to get to the point. And he was like, well, the special, I'm like, the meal. So the special is, I said, well, I don't eat salami and ham. I said, well, I don't eat pork. He said, well, just have ham. I said, well, that is pork. Oh, me and the little girl's like, oh my God, he's so retarded. She said she doesn't eat pork. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, I'm talking about, I don't think he knew I meant the meal, but $6.99, you know what I mean? I bought like 2 meals. I think I brought him a meal too, but that's okay though. Because that's my blessing to him, even though he stole it. I'm like, $12.99. I didn't even get no chips. I got a sandwich, it's a 6 foot long, 2 cookies, and a cocoa. He didn't even give me my chips. It don't even cost that much. But okay, you do you, moron. That's why I didn't give him a tip. I bought somebody a meal, but it's all right. So, my throat is dry. So I pay for my stuff and I leave, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't get my chip. So I came and dropped the board off, walked back out, went to the store. That dude's cool. I know him. He knows my middle son, because my middle son, this is stomping grounds. And as I'm in the store, this dude walks in, and he looks at me. He was like, oh yeah, she's her mom. I'm like, what? And he was like, just enjoy yourself at work or whatever, because he's not a negative person. I was like, yeah, some of them people over there are crazy. So as I come in, I was like, you know what? Because somebody was saying, go over there, sit in the corner or whatever, but I'm not paying that no mind. So I said, let me do my round now, because it was like 8 o'clock, so I don't got to do nothing at 9. I was making sure the doors was locked. So as I walked through, making sure the doors locked, I had to go to the other side. So as I'm walking behind the desk, then they be acting like I'm the threat. Oh, I am not the threat, honey. No, sorry, Bob, I am not the threat. This girl, the administrator's daughter, I don't know if she's the first, the oldest one, or the middle one. She got anger problems. You hear me now? Angry problems. I was going to get the key, and she like flinched. Like, I'm like, girl, you better go ahead, because I ain't playing none of these ABCs in 1, 2, 3 games. What I'm doing don't got nothing to do with you. You're a secretary. I'm security. I need the key. I just walk out the key. Well, and as I'm hitting the corner I go hitting the corner, she punches the desk. And I'm like, well, why is she even hitting the desk though? Because they want me to come. I only sit over there so I can punch in. That's it. I'm just waiting to punch in. That's it. Where am I going to go? I ain't going to go in the basement like the nurses and the CNAs do. And housekeeping and the janitorial man. I'm not going down there to wait. So I sit in the chair, and I don't like sitting my back open, so I sit in the chair with my back against the wall. So I walk by and I said, oh, somebody's in room such and such and such, right? So when I come back, she leaves, we switch, and that lady came flying out of here with all her stuff. She had a mask on. She said, you have a good night. I said, yeah, you too. And then there was somebody in 135. I don't know where that person was. I heard the TV all loud. After that, I didn't hear nothing else. And didn't see nobody else. You know what I'm saying to her? Well, why would you hit the dust, though? Because a human will hit you back. And I'm like, you got psychological problems. How are you going to be a therapist when you're going to need a therapist yourself? Because how you going to get mad at me, at another person, for doing their job, even if it's early. I didn't even clock in. I just did it. And I didn't even clock in at 9 o'clock. I let Lisa text me and let me know I didn't clock in so she can't call. Her mother can't call and say, I clocked in and she was still at the desk like the last time. I'm like, this user trying to make it seem like I'm the threat. I'm not the threat. That little girl got anger problems deep within herself. Well, that's your problem. Well, what are you even going in the back room for? You don't even need nothing out the back room. And when you's coming, I'm standing up with my bags and stuff packed, not because I'm up, because I want to leave. Saturday, the bus comes at 8:45 Woonsocket, and on Sundays, when I get off at the train station and walk over, I don't know what time it is, but I know 5 minutes, the bus comes around the corner. I be trying to get downtown. Ain't nobody trying. I don't know. I'm not like the rest of the workers here. I don't work for them anyway, but they like to hang around. No. Every job I ever had, I left. Soon as it was punch out time, I didn't hang around like the other workers. Nope. And on lunch, I'll try to find me a quiet spot by myself because I do not want to be bothered. I'm like, it's crazy. I mean, that lady had all her stuff. I was like, well, who is she? She had all her stuff all bundled up, and she was going, good night, have a good night. I was like, yeah, you too. She don't know what was going on, but you know what I'm saying? She made tracks real fast. And the thing was, she didn't have no TV playing or nothing. I just noticed the light was on. I was like, oh, they got, some, because they ain't telling you who's here. Usually they like, oh, somebody's staying, They ain't doing none of that. And they ain't hurting me. They're hurting themselves because these people are clearing out. I guess she supposed to have been staying here and changed her mind. Girl, you can go right downtown and get a hotel room. A nice hotel room. And you can put a do not disturb on even if they ain't in your room. Or she can get a bed and breakfast downtown. This is what I'm saying. People are crazy because what is a hotel.com? I'm like a good customer, it is. But you can go on and get an account for bed and breakfast, right? And like, it's like really renting a room, but it's like the Michi. You don't never gotta leave as long as you pay your rent. You're like, you can live there, as long as you got your rent, you can live there and stay there as long as you want. They got houses and everything. You can rent a room, and it come with the kitchen. I don't know how many bedrooms is in the apartment, but yeah, but you just share the common areas. Just as clean as it's just like the Michi, and you get good deals, rented cars and everything. I just like, what's going on? And then last night, I ain't locking that gate. I'm just, the locks probably frozen. I ain't doing all that hot water stuff. But they went out. They definitely left and came back. I don't know who it was, but ain't nobody. I am not scraping. Bob could have shut the gate. He didn't because he didn't leave no tracks with the gate. Just like I went into Sunday, I didn't mean to, of the 26th. So apparently he ain't watching the cameras either. Because they definitely parked right in here and walked across the street to their house. They must be open back up. Or they only open up on the weekdays when I'm not around. I was looking for something else. But God put you where you need to be. Well, where I need to be. Because they're talking about me not. Well, Rob ain't watching the cameras either. and he don't need to go up there because they got nurses. He don't need to go to independent living either because they're independent. They can live on their own. If ain't no fire, no emergency, why you going over there? I just gonna make sure the doors and the windows are closed. He go to every floor. I'm not doing that. Yeah, she gonna come down here and look out the door. Well, keep looking out the door because I'm sitting right where I'm sitting. You don't gotta look out the door. There's cameras. Nobody need to know you're in here. Because when they get to that door, they're not getting in anyway. That's why I'll be worried if I can sit right here and let's, you know what I mean? That's watching. If I want to, have a conversation, I will. If I don't, I'll just leave them right out there. If they want to sit out there in the area where it's cold at, they're more than welcome to, but they won't come through none of these other doors. Just like the Regency, they don't know you're in there until you get in the door. You can hide in the Regency too, at the desk. And their doors are always open. You cannot go to sleep there, child. The camera's on your back anyway. You have to hold your head up. But yeah, the Regency, them doors are open 24/7. I wonder if that dude ever started dating that lady. I said, girl, he gonna have you out here strung out. You gonna be homeless. That's why I'm trying to build my credit up. They got studios for $1,000 a month. I wouldn't get in that pool or nothing unless I see how they clean it out. But I wouldn't even have to go nowhere because all the action happens across the street. I'll be sitting right there in the lawn chair at the end of the driveway. Hopefully. Anyway, ain't really much going on in my life. I swear to God, if the people go, I don't know what else to do. You can tell them it's against the law, but they still think they can do what they want. You know what I mean? It ain't like they don't know the heater's in there. Because, I use a heater. That heat, I'm not used to being half warm. I'm used to being fully warm, my whole body. So I'm like, I'm not even hiding it. I'm just putting it there so but I just got it sitting out now. I'm just putting it there so I can see somebody been in here because you're going to pull it out. So who's smart and who's dumb? There ain't nothing in here to steal unless you just stealing meat. And that's only enough for one person. That's why it's been 5 years almost. I'm just waiting to get that letter and move my stuff on my back. I'm going right back to Providence. I didn't even check on my application that I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to move to Crossroads anyway. It just looks like one of them buildings. If it catch a fire, everybody's gonna die. I just don't want to fight. It looks just like the Carter. But I'm gonna see what's gonna be popping over there for the summertime. Because they are going to be out. The gay people that they are gay. They live in one building. They be prostituting and everything. I want to see if they're gonna open a substation, because there's a substation supposed to be a police station right across the street. Right over there, make the cops hate me. That cop used to always be sleeping. I'll come right by and yell so he can jump up. Oh, he used to cuss me out. That skit I did with the pen, I don't know, we call it. I mean, everybody calls them Choy. Do they even got a name? Everybody thinks they use for Choy, but it's not. It's used for household appliances. It's in Pawtucket at Providence. But there's a cop that hates me in Pawtucket too, so I said, let me send this to him. He don't hate me, but he think I got psychological problems. He think I got mental health issues. That's good. He said, I swear. He's gonna arrest me for anything. I can't even steal a piece of pen. The other cops was laughing though. He don't think nothing's funny when it comes to his job, but he's serious about his police work. But anywho, yeah, that's what's going. But when I get home, I'm gonna do just for today. Cause this change, I hope, I don't know, it's making it's my bag's like really heavy. I can't find my change purse. Probably under my scarves. Oh yeah. Anyway, peace and blessings.